Live. How y'all doing? It's your boy B Wise.
And your boy Trigger.
Live for week 12 NFL football. Carolina Panthers versus the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna start this live off by saying, fuck the Cowboys. Uh, Carolina on top. We gonna score 25 points and we gonna hold Dallas to 17 points. Micah Parsons only gonna have 2 sacks. Y'all
Oh,
lucky
two
JC
sacks
not
of
playing. Y'all lucky JC not playing. Y'all lucky JC
two
not playing.
two sacks would be more sacks than he's had the last couple weeks combined. So we'll take 2 sacks from Michael Parsons. You said 25 points. That's not points y'all gonna score for the rest of the season. So I know y'all ain't putting up 25 in the game.
Oh, he tried to come. He tried to go. First off, no, we're gonna score 25 on y'all. The offense gonna be clicking.
Probably
The offense
will
gonna
be
be clicking.
honestly.
This is a get right game.
So
Dallas a get right game.
this is this is the type of game that scares me right here. Because about this time last season, we had an identical situation. We played against the Houston Texans. Houston Texans came in, same deal, had only won one game on the season, and Dallas needed a 98-yard drive late in the game to beat the one-win Houston Texans. So I get those vibes going into this weekend against Carolina Panthers. You know, 1-8 on the season. Dallas coming in completely the favorite, like no question, after what they've done the last 3 weeks. The teams that they played statistically, just saw what they did to the Giants this past Sunday. Absolute obliteration, which is hard to do against a team, especially a divisional opponent, twice in one season. The way Dallas has beat up on the New York Giants this year, but Dak Prescott played another great game. Had over 400 yards passing. Accounted for 5 touchdowns. Did have the one turnover early in the game. That was the only mistake on offense that I saw from the quarterback position. Um, it was nice to see Brandon Cooks finally get used, and I don't see him putting up 170 yards every game. However, some of them targets out to him, going to take some of the pressure off the CD. I mean, yeah, what a time to get him going. This late in the season, you know, going down the final stretch, going into this gauntlet, that we're going to have come up in a couple weeks. We play against 5 straight games against playoff contenders. We'll see what
Carolina one.
happens.
Carolina one of
See
those
what
contenders.
see what Dak does against Seattle, Detroit, Buffalo, Miami,
Carolina
and Philly.
and Carolina.
That's
Stop
what
being
I'm waiting
disrespectful.
on.
You
Like
gotta
Dak
stop
has
being
been
disrespectful.
playing really
Hey, if
good
you don't hear me.
football. Dak has been playing really good football. But I'm only going to count it against the teams that matter. So he'll have
Okay.
another good game this Sunday. I don't see him. I know some people are like, "Oh, Dak's gonna go off. He's gonna throw for 400 yards against Carolina." No, I think he's gonna go for like 225, 250, somewhere in there. He might throw a couple touchdown passes. He might have one turnover. Um, but I think the Cowboys will win this game. It'll probably be like 30-16, something like that. Uh, and they'll go into Thanksgiving against a division opponent in Washington with the W.
You said they're gonna go against Washington.
Yeah, they'll be going into the Washington game coming off of another win. Yes.
A win against them.
Carolina, the team they play this Sunday in Charlotte, the team that they will beat in Charlotte.
What's your score prediction?
I just told you 30, probably 30-16.
You think your team scoring 30 points or not?
Yeah, why not?
Negro, please.
If they score
It's
30
gonna.
before halftime,
I ain't answering the phone.
I'm trying to think of something. I was like, if the Cowboys scored 30 on y'all, man, they've done it a couple times this season already. They scored 30 before halftime. Y'all got to go to the G League or something.
No, we just got to get rid of our coach.
Y'all automatically eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I think we get eliminated with this game.
Yeah, y'all 1-8. I mean, you could still win out and be what 9-8.
Yes, sir.
How many games? Is 8 games left still? Yeah. So
Yes,
y'all can
sir.
still you can still go
Yes, sir.
9-8 starting this Sunday if you win. That's a big if, real big if.
And that smell like a playoff. Playoff don't that smell like playoffs, don't it?
But again, I'm not going to disrespect the
It smell
Panthers.
like playoffs.
I'm not going to disrespect the Panthers. That's why I
Don't
said
sleep
Dak
on this
Prescott.
game.
That's why I said Dak Prescott's probably not going to go off this game the way he's been going off the last 3 weeks because again, these are the type of games right here where the Cowboys should dominate and they end up making it a ball game. Now I predicted the final score to be 30-16. It could be closer than that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer than that. I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to a late fourth quarter possession where we got to drive down the field and score a touchdown to win the game like we did a year ago against the Houston Texans, who were, like I said earlier, same scenario, one win, this far into the season, and we needed that long drive to beat a one-win team. So I can see it coming down to that again because this Dallas team, they just, look at the Arizona Cardinals game. Now, granted, didn't have Diggs. We had 3 offensive linemen out in that game. Dak was horrible. But again, another game where we should have won given those circumstances anyway, because of the Arizona Cardinals, and how they looked since says that the Cowboys should have won that game against that type of team. Obviously, no surprise we lost to San Fran. No surprise we lost to Philly because the narrative has been what about Dallas? They don't beat good teams when they need to beat them. And luckily, it wasn't the playoffs when we played both of them so far. And the good news is we'll get another crack at the Eagles at least one more time. Um, but come playoff time, we'll at least we'll see the first glimpse, in a couple weeks when we have a game against I think Seattle. Either Seattle or Philly is the first of those 5 games. We play them, the first 2 weeks, and then we got Miami, we got Buffalo, we got Detroit the next 3 weeks after that. So those 5 games right there, how my quarterback performs, how the team does as a whole, how our defense does, because our defense has not played well against good teams. Um, so however how we perform in those games, if the Cowboys can win at least 3 of those 5 games and we play well, and the other 2 games we at least compete and we look good, and the quarterback's not giving the game away, I think we can make a legitimate case for the Cowboys to probably do some damage in the postseason this year.
Y'all gonna lose this game, and you said it yourself because y'all can't beat good teams.
We
Carolina
cannot, but we
Panthers
got
is a good team.
said who's a good team?
Carolina Panthers, is a good team.
Okay.
So, and the reason I say that, our defense ain't bad. They're getting healthy. I'm JC Horn playing this game. I'm a little bit more confident, but CJ's not playing either. But Brian Burns is back. I think Ian Thomas is back. He's blocking. Ian Thomas is blocking. The only thing I worry about Dallas is y'all pass game. I mean y'all run game. And from me talking to us, I don't think y'all run game running like it is
It's
because we don't
not.
stop. Is Jair gonna stop y'all from throwing the ball? Because he's going. Our cornerbacks, they're young and they're hungry, and Dak like to make mistakes because he feel like he got to make plays, especially in a game like this where you want to go up 30 by halftime. You think you're gonna have to make some plays, and you don't have to. You just have to hand that ball to Tony Pollard, play action, win the game. Your offensive line will keep Brian Burns away from you. Just don't make no mistakes. But I think Frank is gonna come out here firing. I mean, this is your job on the line. If they go up by 30 on halftime, you're not coaching the second half.
Hey, I'm gonna say shit. Oh my god.
You're not coaching second half. They're gonna give Ijaro the team for the last couple games. Everybody on the defense is gonna be healthy, and he may go on the Steve Wilkes like run like we did last year. So, on the other hand, for that not to happen, Frank got to come out here, and that offense got to look the best it's ever looked this whole season. And I got a feeling that this might be the game that it can happen. but I'm also worried about the defense that Bryce is playing. But I think Bryce is going to get about 40 yards on the ground rushing. I think your defense is going to be so fast and so ready to come up field. Bryce is going to have to take off, and I think this is the game he's going to have to take off. Or is this the game our offensive line get it together? I don't know, but I got a little feeling about this game. But I didn't have a feeling about every single game, so I don't know. I don't know.
You make an interesting point when you said how you feel like Dak's gonna have to make a few plays for them to go up big, early. And I don't think that's the case against this team. Like we saw what he did against,
Stop
you
playing,
know,
bro. Stop playing like we
we
scrubs.
saw we saw what we did against, Philly. And when we look at their secondary and say that they're scrubs, I wouldn't say they would say they were scrubs.
Yes,
They'd probably say they're a
Phillies.
little
That's what they're
challenged.
talking about. Phillies
They're challenged,
is
but
bad.
I wouldn't say they're scrubs. They went out and got
Patrick is going
Byard.
to show you this weekend.
They went out and got Byard. He didn't really make a huge difference from Dak throwing that ball that game.
But look,
We just came
we
up a
got
couple plays short. However, here's the thing with Dak. I believe the reason Dak is playing so well right now is because he's using his legs so that he doesn't have to force those plays down the field. Think about it. When Dak was taking extra time in the pocket, when things were breaking down around him, instead of, doing like Lamar Jackson would do or Josh Allen and running and getting whatever yards you can, not taking a sack, not feeling like you have to force the ball down the field. When Dak wasn't doing that, when he wasn't using his legs, he was making those throws in the tight coverages. He was making those mistakes, and that's how the turnovers came. You
so
notice over the last several weeks that Dak has been taking off with the ball, preserving possessions, giving us chances to score more by doing that. And in essence, he's not putting that ball out there feeling like he has to make those plays. So I
so I
think
hear
that the
what you're
reason
saying.
I think that the reason why he's not turning the ball over as much as people thought he would is because he's finally using his legs, take the pressure off.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. But who is the linebackers he's going up against this week? Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu, Camus Grugier Hill, Deion Jones. He's not going up against slow linebackers to where he can get out with his feet. Derek Brown's gonna stop everything up the middle. I ain't worried about anything in the middle with Derek Brown. Derek Brown shutting all that down. I got Marquise Haynes Sr. on the other side too. He going I got Amari Barno 4-3. I got speed to keep Dak in the pocket. He's gonna have to throw the ball, and I'm telling you, Von Bell and Xavier Woods are gonna make some plays on some balls. I just hope Xavier pause that. I just hope Xavier Woods can hold on to the ball. I could just hope that he can hold on. Xavier Woods cannot catch interceptions. I don't know if you saw that when he played for y'all, but he cannot catch
Oh,
interceptions.
you telling? That's what. Yeah, he's no longer in Dallas. There you go, right there. Thank you,
Look,
thank you.
I ain't
Yeah,
never
but
said like I'm not a professional athlete, and I'm by no means I know I can't do nothing they do, but I could have caught a couple of those, bro. I know I could have caught a couple of those, bro. Ah,
I tell
Trigger,
you
you
what
saw it in
though.
real life.
Well, okay. Um,
Pause that too.
but my God. Anywho, so yeah, Dak uses his legs. Also, in that West Coast offense, it's not designed to really throw the ball down the field a whole lot, which also
Middle. I
works in
love
his
that.
benefit.
It
And
worked for our benefit too.
Dak, Dak, Dak is actually a pretty decent passer. He throws the ball. You know, I haven't really seen too many balls this season like I did last year when he was turning the ball over. I've not seen him throw too many balls this season that were off target. Yeah, Brandon, where you go? Huh? Yeah,
Hello.
like I was saying though, I didn't see Dak throw too many balls this season that were bad throws or off target. He might have had a couple, that were, he might have sailed over some guys' heads or whatever. But I was accustomed to seeing him, especially a year ago when he led the league in interceptions, how he, throwing the ball behind guys, you know, throwing balls into tight coverages because he wouldn't run, and turning it over. This year, it looks like to me, just looking at him, he looks more relaxed. He looks more in control. He looks like he's very confident in the plays and the throws that he's making. And I see that, I'm starting to see it more and more. I'm starting to feel that more and more as I watch them as the season goes on. Now, granted, they haven't played against, world beaters every single game. However, using those games to build that confidence to get, I think that's what got him to play as well as he did against Philly. He had such a bad game against San Fran. He really hasn't played terribly since then. Now he came in, the week after the San Francisco game, and they answered with a win on Monday Night Football against the Chargers. Then they went to beat the Rams and beat the Giants, um, and he's looked good in all those games since that one game against San Francisco. So, and in Philly, obviously, we lost to Philly, but he did play very well in that game, well enough to win in that game. I just think our defense didn't make enough plays, which is why we lost. But it wasn't on him, and I was happy to see that going into the Philly game that my quarterback did not cost us that game. That's what I was looking for in the San Fran game. I was like, well, if we lose this game, I don't want it to be on Dak. I want it to be that Dak played well and we lost the game in some other area. And that wasn't the case. Dak lost that game for us. Same way he lost that game for us in the playoffs, in the 2 years prior. So all three times we played the 49ers, Dak has lost us those three games. But against Philly, a couple weeks ago, he looked great. He was phenomenal. And by no means does he get any blame for that loss, other than, him stepping out of bounds, on that 2-point conversion that could have changed life for us, could have changed how we ran that last possession, getting a field goal instead of needing a touchdown. Maybe if he leads Schoonmaker a little bit more on that touchdown pass, on that fourth down play on the goal line, and his knee comes down, a little bit later rather than before he makes that catch, we win that game. So we were just literally inches away from that game being a completely different outcome. And he did everything that he could do and played perfectly to give us a chance to even be in that game, especially after going down 11 in the third quarter, which is where we lost the game, in my belief. They played an outstanding fourth quarter. Philly didn't have a first down. They only had like 14 total yards of offense. Dallas completely dominated the clock in the fourth quarter, and we almost won that game. But it was too little too late. Even with all that, Philly could afford to have a quarter like that and still win. You know, it's hard. You never
You
hope to
making
put
me
yourself
feel
in a
even better.
situation.
You making me
But
feel even better um because what's going on, Flash? Because what you're saying is I'm not worried about my
Dak
cornerbacks. My
has been
yo
playing very,
yo
very,
Yo,
very.
Flash and came in here and
messed it up.
you came in here and messed the game up, brother. Trigger.
Sound like
Trigger, can you hear us? Believe in you when no one else does. Trigger, hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Too, by the
Hold
way,
on.
I'm glad you.
There you go, Trigger. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was
It's going it's
saying.
going in and out.
Yeah,
Hold on. I might have to cut the computer on. I might have to cut the computer on.
it might be me for real, for real. What's up?
I'm here. I can hear you. I can hear you. Yo, 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 yo. Can y'all
Yo,
hear me? Can you hear me? All right, I can hear Flash.
yeah,
Trigger warning. I can't hit trigger warning. Hold on. One momento. Trigger, I can hear you now. Trigger, trigger.
Yes, sir.
There
Can you
you
hear
go. I
me?
can hear you. Dang, it was.
Where the rim go
I
now?
don't know. It was Rim that messed us up for real.
Oh, guys.
He came in here
Yeah, what was I making you? What was I making you feel better about now?
that Dak is gonna give us this game
How did any of that make you feel like Dak's gonna give y'all the game?
because you said Dak can go throw the ball deep, and that's what I need. I mean, I got fast corners, so they're gonna stay with y'all low. And then by the time Dak try to run around Brian Burns, Marquise Haynes, Frankie Louvu, or Derek Brown to be there. So
Here's another thing too. You gotta look at. No one's really talking about this. This is kind of something that I picked up. Dak has been playing this well largely without a run game. And we remember what the talks was about Dak, years ago with Zeke. Remember when Zeke got suspended from 6 games? And everyone's like, oh my God, what is Dallas going to do? Dak's not going to be good. He needs that dependable run game to take pressure off of him, make things easier downfield, blah, blah, blah. If you look at it this season, Dak has primarily done all of his damage without a formidable running game. And I think that deserves to be talked about more and highlighted to further boost him and as to how well he's been playing. Like truly, like if you really look at it, that kind of puts it in perspective of how well he's been playing this season. That he's been able to do what he's been able about that he's been able to do what he's been able to do without a run game. And CeeDee Lamb pretty much is his only receiver. Because who's our number two been? Like we seen Brandon Cooks finally have a good game. Um, what 8, 9 weeks into the season finally. Michael Gallup hasn't been that guy. Jake Ferguson kind of comes and goes. Like it's pretty much been CeeDee Lamb and Dak, and Dak still putting up all these numbers. And he's tossing the ball to other guys too, and they're getting catch here, catch there, 20 yards here, 30 yards there. But it's primarily been Dak and CD. Defenses know this. They come in and key in on this, but yet they still find a way to connect with one another. And they're doing that against some of these top teams. I like to think that they could still do it against Carolina as well.
all I'm saying is, if we can score like we scored against Miami, you made me feel a little bit more comfortable. If we can get out to a 14-0 lead, if we get out to the lead, I think we're gonna force Dak to play, and I think that'll be the game we win. If we get out to a lead like we got out on Miami, and it's 14-0 all of a sudden, and our defense can just pin their ears back and go after Dak and force Dak to play like Dak normally plays in those big games, make it a big game feel. Yeah, it's gonna be a big game for y'all because it's gonna be a home game because there's gonna be no Panthers fan there. But I think it's gonna be a good one, bro. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
I think
I
we get
think
up 14-0.
I could not see our defense letting that happen. They've already kind of been getting kicked around because of you know the Eagles game and how they let us down and how they allowed them to go up and down the field on us pretty much and committing those penalties, which sustained some of those Philly drives that did end up ending in points when they could have been punting the ball to us. That hurt us. So I think this defense has a chip on their shoulder, man. And I think the whole attitude, because people knew, and the Cowboys players, I think they watch enough media to know and understand how people feel about them. Play one great game against a good team, and then they'll come in the next week against a bad team or a significantly worse team, and they'll play down to their level. And I really truly felt that they thought that going up against the Giants, and it talked about it in the pregame how a lot of guys would say that they pretty much got us coming out here and making this a ball game with these guys. But we're gonna show them that we're gonna come in and put our foot on their necks early and get them out of here. And that's exactly what they did. They came in there. The defense did a great job. Again, I know it's the Giants. I know it's a third string quarterback. It's a division game. They played them already and beat them up pretty good, beat them 40-0 to open the season. I get it, all that. But I think the fact that they came in, again, against an NFL team, against a division opponent, and said, we're going to stomp you out like we should, the way we look on paper, we're going to make that the case on the field and to go out and do that and essentially have this game over with after 3 quarters. I mean, I think you got to commend them for that, and I think they are aware that they don't just come in and step on the field, and other teams and other opposing offenses are just going to, roll over. They got to come in and they got to play, and that's exactly how they approached the Giants game after coming off of a performance in Philly where they didn't do that. So I think that they took it personal and it hurt them, and they needed to show people and remind people of just how talented and elite that this defense is. Even against a bad football team, we're going to do what good defenses do against bad teams, and they did that. And don't be surprised if it happens again on Sunday.
If y'all go up 30-0, that's a good day too, because Frank Wright getting fired, and we giving the team to Jaro Evero, and we just need to go get us a young OC. So it's a win-win for me.
Hmm.
If we beat the Cowboys, that's our Super Bowl for this year. If we
Right.
lose big, Frank, Frank, I'm sorry, you need to go ahead and pack that up because I'm trying to believe in Bryce, and I know it's the line, I know it's the scheme. We like they said, we not changing scheme. We changing the people that call the plays. We're not changing the scheme. Our scheme is
Hmm.
horrible. Our scheme is just not good. It's archaic. I don't know if it's the personnel or the scheme or what. It's bad. It looked bad in the preseason, and tried to turn the eye to it, and tried not to think that it was gonna be something something in what it showed us. I mean, they showed us what it was in the preseason. We should have believed them. When they show you who they are, believe them. So eh, I don't know. I was second guessing Bryce a little bit, but now I'm kind of like uh, maybe it's the scheme.
Maybe, and that brings up an interesting point I kind of wanted to hit on because I was watching some sports shows earlier today, and they were talking about different quarterbacks. Some guys just have it, some guys just don't. Some guys can go anywhere and play. Other guys, they need the right system around them, and I feel like that's the case with a lot of quarterbacks. Is teams that draft quarterbacks, they're looking for them to be they see the talent that they have when they're in college, right? And then they bring them on their team, and they expect them, within a certain amount of years to be this elite quarterback that we pictured you to be, and for you to adapt to whatever system that we have, and use the talent around you to win us some football games, get to the playoffs, hopefully to a Super Bowl one day. And some guys come in, man, and when you have turmoil in your organization, that's why a lot of these highly sought after draft picks in college,
Stop taking shots. You taking shots right now.
they don't want to
We were drafting
come
nine.
and
We were about to go
play.
to the playoffs.
They don't
We were
want to
about to go
come
to
play
playoffs last
for
year.
Chicago. They don't want to come play for New York because you know they know that coaches are going to get fired. They're going to have a different offensive coordinator every year, and it's just hard. And I'm not making any excuses, but look at Daniel Jones and the Giants. Like this man's had a different OC every year that he's been the quarterback there. That can affect the guy, especially a guy who doesn't have that it factor about them to where they can just come in and play no matter who the OC is. Their talent's gonna be good enough and they can adapt to whatever system and they're gonna ball out. But some guys need to be in the right system to thrive. And it looks like Daniel Jones is going to be one of those quarterbacks because he's had 3 different offensive coordinators, and under all 3, he's looked like the same quarterback. So maybe he still needs to find that right coordinator to get him going, or maybe he's just not starting quarterback material in the league. And I think in a few more years, or maybe a couple of years, We will find that out for sure if he's going to be a franchise guy or if he's going to be, you know, delegated to a backup role. I don't know. That remains to be seen, especially with him coming off this ACL injury now. Um, how that's going to look. Brock Purdy. I mean, if you pull him out of San Fran, does he do the same thing? You know, like with these other
That's Jimmy
teams.
G doing right now. That's Jimmy G doing right now.
Jimmy G is the same quarterback
He's
he was with
benched.
the 49ers. I mean, I
I
never
mean,
saw in Jimmy G what everyone else saw in him. He never, to me, he was always a turnover waiting to happen. Like people talk about Dak Prescott turning the ball over, you know, Josh Allen turning the ball over. Like Jimmy G, like you knew, like that first playoff game we had against the 49ers 2 years ago when Jimmy G was the starting quarterback. You knew, we knew going into the game, he gonna give us one. He gonna give us one. And he did. He gave us one very late in that game, and it almost cost him. It almost cost him. But we did get one turnover from Jimmy G that game. His numbers were not lights out in that game. Jimmy G's defense and the guys around him made that game look bigger for him than what it actually was. You know, if you're looking at the numbers, Jimmy G did not play a great game against Dallas that year in the playoffs. He didn't. And anytime he needed to rise to the occasion, he never has. So I never understood what all the hype about Jimmy G was. Like he
yeah,
never
Randy.
he's always turned the ball over to me. And now we see what he's doing in Vegas. He's a backup now. He went there, turned the ball over, and they done benched him. He's leading the league in turnovers at one point. And the only reason he wasn't still leading the league is because he got hurt, and now he's a backup. So now I think Josh Allen may lead the league in interceptions, but it's not Jimmy G. He's still up there, but he's another quarterback that clearly he's found the right system. You know, Brock Purdy is in the right system. You see what he's doing. Um, Daniel Jones still needs a system. Who else is there in the lead? I feel like they need to get some kind of a system around them so that they can thrive. Um, because you got guys like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like they're raw talent and like everything is built around them rather than finding something that helps them. Um, so it's just I feel like quarterbacks in this league, man, you're one or the other. Either you're a system QB or you're talented, and the team is looking for ways to maximize that talent. By putting certain players around you or putting a certain offense around you. They're not expecting you to fit to anything. Rather, they are adjusting to you and your game. Um, so it's interesting to see what some quarterbacks do when they have that talent versus when they don't. And the quarterbacks that don't have the talent, like clearly Brock Purdy, I don't think is as talented as Lamar Jackson. However, Brock Purdy is thriving because he's in a pretty good system and he has, you know, all-star caliber players around him. So he's going to look good. But if you take Brock Purdy and put him on, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns right now, who just lost to Sean Watson for the year, or even the
The
Cincinnati
same
Bengals who
person.
lost Joe Burrow for the year, who would he
He's
be?
not Cincy. In Cleveland, he'd probably be the same person, but not in Cincy.
I don't think he has the same success in either organization that he does with
But
San Fran.
let's not act like Daniel Jones got an offensive line and any weapons. That's what I worry about Bryce.
He doesn't.
He got Saquon. He
Yep,
got
that's all he
Saquon.
has.
That's it.
That's all he has.
Hey,
And he might not
Kyler
even have
Murray
him for
balling.
long.
Yeah, because he coming to Carolina. Kyler Murray balling.
Yep, and it's crazy because I didn't think that the way Arizona's season was going, I figured, why risk putting him back out there to get hurt again, coming off of such a serious injury, when clearly y'all aren't going anything or not have any postseason
Because the
plans, or not going
NFC
to
is
have any
wide
postseason
open.
plans.
The NFC is wide
The
open,
Cardinals
brother.
are not as wide open as it is. The
They got
Cardinals are
more wins
not
than
making
us.
the playoffs. But they're not going to
They
beat.
just got to catch
Both
the
has
Seahawks.
so they're going to beat Seattle. They're going to
They beat y'all.
come out of the NFC
They
West.
beat y'all without Kyler.
They did beat us
They
without
beat
Kyle.
y'all
I
without.
think
They
I
beat
think
y'all
if we
without
played
Kyler.
it, if we play the same Arizona team again with Kyle, I guarantee
I
we
think
win.
Cal dog y'all. I think Cal dog y'all. Did y'all have Trayvon too?
No, we didn't.
That was the first game without Trayvon, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was our first game on Trayvon. We were also down 3 offensive linemen that game too.
I don't want to hear all that. My defense
It's
has
the
been
truth.
down
It's the truth.
starters, and we still
We see
playing
what
lights
not
out
having
deep.
an offensive line. We see what not having an offensive line does to you. Look at Daniel Jones. You just mentioned it. You just use that
Look
same
at Bryce.
example.
Bryce ain't complaining about it.
You talking
Bryce
about
got
not
two
having an
seconds to
offensive
throw.
line in Carolina? You think Michael Parsons is going to have 2 sacks? Well, Bryce liable to get sacked 10 times this Sunday.
Hey, hey, I ain't want to say. I was thinking about 13. I was thinking about 13.
I was going to say,
I
your
was
offensive
like,
line
man,
not good. The pass rushers we got, he might get
I
sacked
just
10
work.
times.
I think what's giving me a little hope is Chandler and Icky on the same side again, like they were in college. It's gonna be Chandler Zavala and Icky who communicated in college, who worked together, who got a little bit more familiarity with each other than Chandler on the right side where he got hurt. We got Austin Corbett back. You put Chandler Zavala over there with Icky. We got a little bit of cohesion more than we've had all year. We get Ian Thomas back, who's our best blocking tight end. We got Chuba, we got Miles, we got Raheem Blackshear, we got Laviska coming back, we got DJ Chark, we got Adam Thielen, we got Terrence Marshall, we got our defense healthy again, except for JC, who will probably be back that next week. I'm just saying, Carolina might got a chance for a little bit of upset because I think we can get up if Frank come out throwing and firing because he don't got nothing to lose. Frank don't got nothing to lose. So why would I hold anything? I mean, I ain't got nothing to lose. Let's just go get it. He gonna come out fine. We go up 14-0. It's gonna force Dak to have to make plays, and I think our defense can force Dak into some turnovers, especially with our ball hawking safeties, Von Bell and
Don't say Xavier
Xavier
Woods.
Woods. Xavier Woods, and I think that
Never known as
Dante
no
Jackson is
ball
gonna
hawking
Dante's
back.
gonna lock up CD. Dante is gonna lock up CD. I'm not worried about CD this game, and CD is not gonna get off on any of our cornerbacks. Why don't you go for about 200 yards this game? He's not gonna get off on any of our cornerbacks. I'm glad y'all lucky we don't got Jeremy Chin, but I'm our linebackers are gonna eat. Blake Martinez, he's starting for us this. He probably starting for us this week. Deion Jones, Kamura Grugier Hill, Frankie, Brian Burns, Marquise Haynes. Hey, Trigger. What Deion say? We coming. We coming.
Yeah, y'all coming and y'all going. I mean, that's it.
I'm just saying. Ain't no none of y'all receive Martavius Bryant don't scare me.
Why you should be worried about him? Why you worried about him?
That's y'all number two.
No, he ain't a number 2. He didn't even play last week. He's on the practice squad.
He
I don't
playing
think
this
they
week.
elevated him yet. If Martavis Bryant out there is going to be red zone, that's it. We need another big body in the red zone, and we could target to help our red zone woes. We're so terrible in the red zone. We still
Could have
are.
been
I
D
mean,
Hop.
it could have been. It could have been. I still don't get that. Yeah, you don't get DeAndre Hopkins, but you go get a receiver that ain't played in 5 years. That's the kind of stuff the Dallas
Hey,
Cowboys do. That's why they front
hey,
office pissed me off. It's so backwards. But again, he's a big body. I mean, he's a big boy. Now, I've seen photos of him in practice and other players. Dude is huge. I give him that. But they ain't gonna bring him in and be a goal line threat and give us another option, make life easier inside the 20. Then what's the signing for? What we doing here?
hey, bro. Star Can, the guy we got last week that had that 40-yarder from Bryce. I think he coming along too. He been having a big week in practice. He from the Bahamas. I think he run like 4.4 and he about 6'5".
Hmm.
Y'all might have some trouble on y'all hands.
We
Frank been
might.
developing him since Indy.
I think it's gonna be another game. And Dallas realized, okay, we're going against another team with less than 3 wins on the season. Like,
If you say inferior, I'm gonna beat the
let's
shit out you.
not let up. Let's not let up. Let's do what we did against the Giants last week. Just come out, be aggressive, play our game. Let's not try to do too much because of who they are. Just stick to what we're doing, and everything will work out and be fine. We do
They
the
gonna come
same
out and
thing
try to
on
do too much.
Thanksgiving. We do the
This
same
is
thing
gonna be
on
Bryce's
Thanksgiving.
Trevor. This is gonna be Bryce's Trevor Lawrence game.
It could be. Like I said, we were in an identical situation last season against the Texans. The only difference was I think we were at home in that game. And this time we'll be on the road, but same thing. Played against them this late in the season. They were a one-win
It's gonna be a
team and
home
took
game
us
for
down
y'all.
to the wire.
It's gonna be a home game. Y'all gonna have so many fans in there. It's gonna be a home game for y'all. I'm telling you. The Panther fans is about to march. This is gonna be a home
Oh,
game for y'all.
even better for us then.
But I'm
Even
telling
better
y'all,
for us.
Nine got something to prove.
Who that?
Nine got something to prove. Bryce. But you know what made me mad about the game last week on Thursday night? I don't know if you watched it, but
What's up?
watching DJ Moore take those bubble screens and get 12 yards made me mad. Saying, if this what y'all offense was gonna be, why would y'all trade away the best player to do this? Why not? Like it for DJ Moore to get two bubble screens and go 12 yards on each. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, this would have been our whole offense because now they coming up to the line to stop that, and then you run play action, throw over the top to a DJ Chark or somebody fast. Like this is what our offense like. I don't know, man. We got
And you
Lavisca back
gotta
too. He our
you
halfback.
saying the team gonna beat Dallas for that way of doing things.
Lavisca could get 5 yards a carry
Oh
and
yeah,
then
well
go out to the
Saquon
slot.
Barkley averaged 5 yards a carry against us last week.
But would you rather have Bryce Young or Daniel Jones? Ooh, ooh, ooh. With your offensive line,
Ah, probably Daniel Jones.
dang, that's disrespectful, bro.
Yeah, because I've seen how good he can be when he's on. The only thing I don't like about Daniel Jones is that he can play really, really good, and then he'll throw a boneheaded turnover. I mean, just
But
boneheaded. Like it
you
won't be a
seen Bryce
tipped
really, really
ball or
good
anything
too.
like that, but like I know. But Bryce has been way too down this year for me. Like he
I'm
hasn't
talking about
really. I haven't seen too many moments or games from him where I was like, okay, well, Bryce, he had a good game. Like, just didn't feel that way about him this year at
I'm
any
talking
point.
about with Philly defense. With Philly defense is all Georgia. That's the Georgia team Bryce beat
Pretty much the
when
Philadelphia
he had
Bulldogs.
offensive line. When he had an offensive line and he had time in the pocket. I was watching that game. I was like, Bryce, when he got time, he can throw that ball. But he really does not have time. Like, I don't know if it's the game is too fast for him right now, or is it just our offensive line is really looking that bad. And when I'm looking at the tape and the all
It,
22s, Icky been looking that bad.
it could be a
But the whole
mixture of
offensive
both
line
those
been looking
things.
that bad. Could be both. Bryce holding on to the ball too, because you got to realize you ain't gonna get those college windows. You're gonna have to like that
Yeah,
the pass that Bryce did the CD. Bryce threw it
yeah.
before any like and CD just made a play. You got to give your guys a chance to make a play in this league, and
Hmm.
he's learned that with Adam Thielen. Like Bryce, just I want him to have a game to where if he had to throw 10 turnovers, throw 10 picks, throw 10 picks, but j- go, just go get like that's what sucked about starting the season with Atlanta and New Orleans because you needed those games for the division. If we would
Right.
have started with Houston, if we would have started with Tennessee, or if we would have started with something like, all right, Bryce, just go play. Like, but now everybody's on eggshells. They're all the buttholes tight, and it can't be. All right, just go play. Because now you're sitting here, you're playing for people's jobs. But on the flip side of that, I hope it's like, yo, we don't got nothing to lose, bro. If they go up by 30, or if you throw 10 picks, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Let's go out there and just play football. Let's go sling the rock. Because what y'all told me at the beginning of the season, we had the best coaching staff that can fix any mistake that we had going on. We got Jim Caldwell. We got Don Capers. We got Josh McCown. We got Thomas Brown, the McVay mind, Frank Wright, Ajaro Evero, D'Angelo Hall. We got all these people, this all-star coaching staff that can fix any problem that will arise. And we won an 8. 1-8. And we switching play callers again. So I say all that to say, fuck Dallas. Carolina gonna win.
Okay. That sounded very confident. So yeah. All right. Well,
We 6 minutes
we got
away from
Carolina.
prime time. We
Say
six
six
minutes
minutes.
away
You
from
see, we
prime
got
time.
Carolina winning.
I got
What's
Carolina
your
winning, and I
score
think it's
prediction?
24-16.
We had this Dallas offense scoring 16 points.
Exactly. I think my defense is that good, and I think we're gonna show it this week with J.C. Horn on the cups of coming back, and C.J. Henderson. When we get JC back, CJ goes back to the slot where he's gonna dominate people. I wish we could see it this game because I would show you how dominant our corners are when we got all our corners healthy, and then Von Bell and Xavier Woods can just go roam because Derek Brown and Brian Burns gonna go eat because y'all gonna have to double Brian. Y'all gonna have to chip him. Who y'all right tackle? You feel confident about him?
Right tackle, Zach Martin. Damn confident about him.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that's that. I feel confident. I feel confident. Who y'all left tackle?
Tyron Smith.
Yeah, I feel confident about him too. Uh, who y'all right guard?
Oh, sorry. I think Zach Martin's the right guard. Our right tackle is Terrence Steele.
Oh yeah. Still get beat. Yeah, I ain't worried about him. He got beat.
He
He
does
the one
get
that
beat a
got beat
little
when
bit.
Romo got hurt.
He cost us
He the
that
one.
possession on that last possession against Philly. That was all his fault. I know Dak still got to throw the damn ball away, but man, I mean, can you not block for just 2 seconds?
Yeah, I saw him. I see the back of his jersey a lot too much sometimes.
Yeah, he had a rough go that week, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I feel confident. With Tyron Smith, and then we got Tyler Smith who's playing left guard, who plays left tackle when
Yeah,
Zach Martin's not in, and he's done a good job at the position. He's actually one of the highest rated offensive linemen in the league, um, in year two of his career. So him, Tyron Smith, uh, got Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. Yeah, our line is pretty decent. They're not dominant, but they're good enough, especially on that left side.
photo ID. My bad. All right. Yeah, your offensive line good.
Yeah, they're not
But
like I
our
said. They're
defense,
not. They ain't
defense is
like
bad.
that. They're not super dominant, but they can block well enough to give Dak a little bit of time to make a play. They'll probably give up a couple sacks, I'm sure, because they do. Um, Especially off that right side with Terrence Steele. Zach Martin, I'm not really worried about him too much, but Terrence Steele does scare me a little bit. But yeah, we'll be fine.
How you feel about y'all special teams?
Well, special teams has been great this season. Field goal kicker has not missed a field goal. I think he's like
Y'all got a touch?
19 for 19. Special teams,
Mm-hmm.
I believe they do. They might have like a block punt return or something like that for a touchdown a couple times, like early in the season.
We got a
But
punt return last week. That was our only
they,
score. Our only touchdown.
yeah, I don't think they have anything off a kickoff or a punt return this year. But they, like I said, our kicker makes his field goals, both short and long. Made all of that. Well, I think he missed one extra point, but he's made all of the rest of them. Um,
I think Eddie only missed
and then we
that
have one of the
59 yarder that they knew he shouldn't have kicked, and I think he missed another one.
we have one of the best punters in the league, who I feel very
We got Johnny
confident
Hecker.
in every week. Fourth down, we
Johnny
got a
Hecker,
punt.
Super Bowl champion.
We're gonna pin them deep, and we ain't get no return.
Super Bowl champion, Johnny Hecker. Quarterback, punter, Johnny Hecker. Johnny Hecker, you want to take the bet? he gonna throw for a first down?
They probably would. They probably do something like that. I mean, somebody went for a fake punt against us. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking about another game. Never mind. But yeah, I mean, I can see it happen. He's one of the best
Oh, Dion.
throwers. That's a punter.
Dion starting. Prime time starting. You watching Prime? They got to win this game.
Oh, they on the night.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Mm,
Hey, JMU. Hey, they showed out today for Pat McAfee.
mm.
They showed out, brother. And their
Yeah,
basketball team got the upset.
that'd be cool. I know they beat Michigan State
Yeah, they got the upset.
last week.
I heard you going back. You coming out of retirement to go back on a run.
I'm not retiring to go back on a run. Where?
JMU.
Oh no, I wish I could go back to college and play again.
You
Especially
got
now
one
they
more
got
year
this
eligible.
NIL stuff going on now.
Boy, man, Trigger, you probably be what? About a couple hundred thousand. Couple hundred
That's
thousand.
all.
A
That's all
million.
I need.
That's probably what you
I,
got. About a meal? You think a meal, couple hundred thousand?
I,
Definitely a
I just
couple
need a
hundred thousand.
couple. I just need a
You
couple
definitely
hundred
got,
thousand dollars. That's it. 200
especially
grand.
where
That's
you was
it.
at. Where you was at, man, they'd have had you on the ocean front. They'd have had you on beside the Marriott in the Marriott lobby. You'd have been on the car commercials. You'd have been the aquarium commercials. you,
I've done everything.
really,
Yeah. And
you
all
really out
kind
here
of
looking like Terry Crews then.
some endorsements, all that stuff. Yep. Yeah, I came. I don't imagine if I had that back when I was in school, man. Oh my goodness, I've been next level right there.
Look at that. Look how much. But now, if you think about how much it's going to change their lives, that you can go to college ball, use a local star, regional star, and
Yep.
you can get a little money, get you a couple hundred thousand, get you a degree in business, and
Hmm.
become an entrepreneur, to go in and become a tradesman, like
Hmm.
get everybody out the hood in college where you're not forced to make dumb decisions, or not even get everybody out the hood really, but get you some money in your pocket where you ain't struggling to where you can focus on school, you can focus on ball, you can focus on everything. So Prime is 4-6. Trigger 4-6. I think they're 4-6.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And they got to win out or win. Yeah, they got to win out to become bowl eligible, I believe.
Yep,
And win these last two games.
the game started.
A couple of them games they should have won. They let get away from them.
Oh
Should be
yeah,
6-4,
Stanford.
honestly.
Yeah, they
Stanford
should
game, the Arizona game they lost on the field goal.
UCA, the USC game.
USC game they had a chance. I mean, I mean they got down early. They got up a hole for the most of the game, but I think that made it harder on them. But if they had kept it close from the beginning, I think they could have won that game. So that's what 3 games right there. We just counted. Yeah, they could easily be 7-3 right now.
yeah, yeah, they be talking. We be talking about New Year's Bowl especially for them.
Hmm.
So I'm just trying to find the game now. What was it, ESPN or?
Well, they got oh man, they got this play-in tournament going on ESPN right now.
I heard it's been good though. I sent you a John about Dane. What you think about it? That's what he's talking about. The money. Dane said, man, people they can get money, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. When Dame was saying that, yeah, like I said, I love to play in because of the whole incentive thing. Like it's a cash prize at the end, and like he was saying, they got some guys on their team who've made a lot of money, but they got some guys who are also trying to get paid, and they're looking to, you know, what he said, earn their stay. So this is
Yeah.
the perfect opportunity for them to go out there and do that for them, and as a teammate, that should motivate you. Even though you're already straight and you got yours, you know, you're all about team. You're not going to be selfish. That should motivate you to want to bring everybody else up and get them theirs too. So what happens? Instead of resting and putting guys out to recover, you play in these games, and
But the young
it
cats go
means
at it
something.
too.
It means something. So, like I said, I'm a fan of the play in because like I said, it gives these teams more incentive to play these guys, and kind of cut down on the load managing. Now, why did he shoot that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Hold on, I'm gonna have to grab my other computer. I'll be back, Trigger. Who they play today? They
Yeah,
play Washington State. She, Nima, yo, Evan, pull all your stuff out your pocketbook, out your wallet. Oh. Mm.
they play today. The Colorado Buffs play I think they play Washington State today. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe both teams are 4-6, Amber.
Hello, is it me you're looking for? I'm sorry, Trigger. I'm doing some adult activities over here. So
Adult activities.
yeah,
Well, it
playing
sounds
naked
fun.
Jenga.
So you
It's just
playing
me.
naked Jenga?
Yeah,
You
on my
said
front
just
porch.
you?
Yeah, on my front porch.
Why you just you? Oh wow. Okay.
I've been waiting. I'm sorry. Let me stop. That didn't got that song stuck in my head, man. So Trigger, let's talk about some pop culture.
Colorado is 4-6, and so is their opponent, Washington State. I just verified they are also 4-6 tonight, going into this game. Kickoff at 10:30. FS1.
And why are you coming for me with your information like you're a journalist? 10:30
Because
kickoff.
Amber
S
asked.
FS1.
Oh my, well, she asked for their record, so I was just, you know,
You just being disrespectful now because my Panthers gonna be disrespectful to your Cowboys.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll get us a couple times, but I think the Cowboys will win the game.
You trying to sound like you had thought this through and that you really believe that. I know you don't believe that, brother.
No, I wholeheartedly believe it.
You don't believe in your team, brother.
I don't have any worries about Dallas in this game on Sunday. If
You don't ever have
they
to worry
mess
about
around,
Dallas in a game.
if Dallas messes around and loses this game, I promise you, the whole 2 hours on our next podcast will be dedicated to them.
Yeah,
If
you don't want
not,
that. You don't
it's
want
gonna
that
be
trigger. You know how
it's
I'm
gonna be
gonna cut
ugly.
up.
They're gonna win
I'm gonna
tonight,
cut up.
Amber. They're winning tonight. These guys done lost. Oh, I don't know how many games in a row now. I know they're desperate for
You
a
got hype
win.
for this.
They are winning tonight. They have to have this
You
one tonight.
got hype
So they're
for that.
probably not gonna win next week.
Who they play
To
next
be
week?
completely honest, I think they played Utah to finish the season. Utah's ranked.
They might beat Utah on the way out to get in the bowl. That'll be a perfect script.
Yeah, I would love to see them beat Utah, but like I said,
Because
out
then
of the two
you
games,
can have a talk to put them in the rankings. Not at 6-6. You ain't putting them in the rankings,
oh no, they're not gonna be in the rankings at 6-6 even if they beat a ranked team. But
but they get a
um,
bowl. They get a bowl.
out of these two, yeah, they'll be bowl eligible at 6 wins. But like I said, out of these two games, if I had to pick one of them that I think they will win, it would be tonight. Do I think they can win next week too? Absolutely. Um, but we've seen how they do against ranked teams this year outside of TCU, who is not even like whatever happened to them, right?
Who? Who you talking
TCU,
about? Who is that?
the team they beat week one, upset. They
We
were
are
ranked, then they
who we thought
dropped,
they
and
are.
then I don't think they've been in
They're
the
the team
ranking
that played
since.
for us last year. Hey,
Yeah,
is
but
that
I
the,
think
you think that's the only team that Michigan hasn't had their signs of, and that's why they couldn't beat them? Sorry, too
I
soon.
don't know. I mean, I
Too
don't know. I
soon.
mean, I don't. It don't have no. It don't. It
It was
don't
too
make
soon.
a whole difference to me. But uh, again, it's like Dion said, man. Like you can know all day long what the team's about to do.
Still gotta
You
stop.
still got to stop it. You still got to stop it. So
It was too soon. That's what you're telling me.
I can't
I
tell
know
you
it was
how
too
many times I done been in film sessions in college. Looking at certain players. Do things on tape, and I'm like, okay, so we know what these teams like to do. Every game that we played in, we had footage on other teams' plays, like the plays that they run, the sets that they ran. Like they're going to run these plays. We went over those plays in practice so that we knew how to play them. And still, on game day, all right, we watched it on film, we rehearsed it in practice. Now we got to go out here and execute on these guys. Like we know what they're going to do. They knew that we knew what they were going to do. We still
and they
asked
set
the man
those
up
tendencies.
to stop. And then they still ran their stuff, and they would score. They would score. So
Is
you
that
can
because y'all was
always
trash?
know. No, we weren't trash. The college basketball players. They're going to score. You're not going to hold a team scoreless. They're going to run
Yes,
something.
you
They're
did.
going to get you. They're going to get you. No, it's impossible. When everyone's good, it's
Hey, you
impossible to
watching? I'm
hold.
watching the girls. Man, them girls team is 163-4.
When they're good, the other team ain't
163 to
good.
4.
The
Trigger.
other team ain't
If I'm ever
good.
on a team, if I'm ever on a team, we score 12 points and y'all score 160 points. We fight.
Then you're
We
not
fight.
good. Your team's not good.
Everybody got to see it.
You probably got to fight or play baseball, do something else different because basketball ain't it. But you got two teams playing against each other, two good teams playing against each other. No one's gonna be scoreless. Like other teams are going to score. Like it's just going to happen. They're going to hit shots. They're going to hit tough shots. They're going to get wide open shots. They're going to make layups. They're going to get free throws. Like they're going to score. It's just they're going to score. Your job is to try to limit that as much as you possibly can. Make it hard for them as much as you possibly can. That's the only thing you try to do. It's the only thing you can really do. You're not going to prevent them from scoring, but at least be in a position where you make them earn everything. Don't try to give them everything easy. So we knew that these guys were going to come in and run their favorite plays and the sets that made them successful, and they were probably going to score off of them. But we wanted to do the best we could to limit them and get them out of it, get them uncomfortable, make them go elsewhere, make them run something else. Maybe they don't have as much success with. That was the key. But at the end of the day, you can know it all day long. My point being is you still got to go out there and defend
Man, what happened to my old trigger? We used to go out there and dog people. We used to go out there. I'm in the corner, just throw the ball. You. They didn't know it was coming. But even if they did know it was coming, it won't go get stopped. That jumper was.
it. I'm pretty sure they knew it was coming. Like catch and shoot. Like he not gonna try the ball. He's gonna catch and shoot threes.
And I'm hitting. Hey, now imagine me older with IQ and can actually work on my dribble, and I got a right hand now. Now imagine I can get to where I want to go because I've been watching old Jason Williams highlights, and it don't matter how fast you are. It matter about
Yeah,
getting to your
Jason
angle.
Williams. I like. Oh my
It matter
goodness.
about getting to your angle. And my pivot game is crazy. My pass game is crazy. Get to my spot, I'm making it every single time. I really developed my old school game trick, and I'm telling you, I've been working out. I'm getting in shape. 2024, I'm coming back in. I'm unretiring. I'm coming back to a men's league. Me and Trick are starting the Be Wise Trigger Sports League. Y'all stay tuned. The best of Lynchburg versus the best of Petersburg, Richmond, Colonial Heights, Chesterfield, everybody. We starting it. We starting the whole AAU spring tour, outdoor rec league, 35 plus. I'm sorry, 31 plus. 31 plus. Old men's summer nights rec league game starting in the spring. We gonna work. We putting it out in the universe, Trey. We make it happen.
All right.
We coming back. It's gonna be like Black Men Can Ball too. See, yeah, I see, I see. We get the whole squad back together, and they give us time to practice.
Okay. I'm gonna hit you in the corner, and you better make it.
I'm hitting it. Kasaka. And
You
I'm doing
better
it like
make it.
Steph. I'm looking away. We going down. I'm gonna say we going the other way.
Oh my
Especially if
God.
we in the gym, bro. If we in the gym, I don't even want to go to a gym, bro. Just don't close out. If they don't close out, I'm making it. But if they
Well,
close
yeah, it's
out now, I
ideal. If
got
they
that.
don't close out on you, yeah, obviously shoot it.
But trigger, but trigger. We're gonna set that tendency, and they gonna start closing out, and I'm gonna hit them with that pump, and I'm gonna hit them with that yin yin, and I'm gonna go.
Hit him with
I'm gonna
that
fake to the
Duncan
hole.
Robinson. That Duncan Robinson. I'm not just a shooter anymore. I can put the ball on the floor now and get to the basket.
Yeah, get to the basket. That's why I told
Speaking
you I got my
of
right hand. I got my right hand.
speaking speaking of Duncan Robinson, do you see the Miami Heat right now?
I told you you was sleeping on him. You was sleeping on him. I told you you was sleeping on him,
No, I won't sleep on them. I'm just tired of them getting out rebounded.
and they stopped
And
once they
again,
made the trade. I said to me,
it's an important stat in basketball. It really is
"How the Rook
because
doing? How the Rook
it
doing?
correlates. He's doing well. It
Uh huh.
correlates. It correlates to
Better
wins
than
and
you thought.
losses. It really does.
He getting
I
rebounds.
didn't say he was going to be terrible. I just said that he probably wouldn't come in and do everything that we would want to see. Like the days of drafting a player in these drafts nowadays to come in and change the franchises, I think are over. Like
Yeah.
there was times, 10,
Mikey was
20
supposed to
years
be up
ago.
next.
Well, we don't know. He might be in prison. But
Stop, trigger, stop.
I'm serious. Like, did you know how many charges dude got against him?
We know. We talked about it. We talked about it. But stop, trigger.
Yes, I'm saying it's a very real
Allegedly,
possibility.
allegedly, allegedly, allegedly,
It's a very real possibility
allegedly,
from what I've been reading.
allegedly,
And he I know it's allegedly, but it's pretty strong from what I've been reading.
allegedly.
That he can end up being locked up and he can lose his whole career just like that. And
And
he ain't even stepped on the court yet.
we just got hit
But
with a
anyways,
copyright strike. We battled a copyright strike, but we beat it. We
yeah,
beat it, trigger.
anywho, like I was saying, I never doubted the Miami Heat, and I like Jaquez, but like I said, the,
Boy, that
the, the
Lynchburg coming
days
out.
the days of
I never
drafting
doubt.
players, the days of drafting players that are coming in to you know, be the franchise player like D Wade or LeBron, Carmelo, those type of guys who went, first round draft picks came in and, right away you knew they were going to be the face of that team. Like those days are over. Nowadays, you might get one or two picks in these drafts that come in and they might be, everybody after that is not going to be that guy. I mean, they might be a good role player, you know, but that's it. They're not coming in to change life completely for a franchise, especially if you're towards the top. You're picking towards the top and you've been struggling. Like those days are just over to me. I don't see anybody coming out next year that's going to be that player. Like I said, maybe one or two guys every now and again. Like we saw Wimby and Scoot Henderson in this draft. That's first time in a while we've seen two players of that caliber. We say, okay, these guys will come in right away and they can be, you know, a superstar or a potential MVP conversation this year, their rookie year. At least about Wimby. I haven't really heard much about Scoot. I know Scoot's been hurt, but we've heard that about Wimby. I can't remember outside of those two guys, in recent drafts where players were drafted and it was like, all right, this guy has a shot to win MVP. This guy has a shot to, do
Chat
this or do that. And this shot's going to,
and
like
chat
it
showing it.
just doesn't happen anymore. Jaquez,
Chat.
same way. He got drafted late, you know, in the draft. I think we got a steal getting him where we did, because he comes in, he can shoot the ball, and he has great footwork. I love his footwork around the basket. Gets to his spots. He's very
I
methodical,
told you. I
and
told
that's
you.
all we need. That's all we need. Like he's not gonna be a guy that's gonna score 20 points a game for us. Maybe not even 15, but he can come in and he can hit timely shots. That's it. That's what he did last night. I watched him play against the Brooklyn Nets, and he looked great in the spots that he was in there. And he contributed in a major way. Hit timely threes, and that's all we needed from him. Jimmy Butler went absolutely
He remind me
berserker.
of Mike Miller. He like Mike Miller with a little bit of footwork.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good comparison. I give you
His
that.
grit, the grit he got, and like he can go out there, he can get you some rebounds. He can score the ball. Mike Miller can score that ball. Mike Miller, next thing you
Yeah,
look up, Mike Miller done got 15 points because he made 5 of them in a row.
yeah. I still don't see
But
Hawkins I think he can be that guy. I just don't see him being that, right now. Maybe a year or two or whatever, he'll finally get his feet in and he'll score more and become more of a focal point in the offense or more of an option in the offense. But right now, he's coming off the bench. Even when guys have been hurt, like Caleb Martin came back last night, finally for the first time this year, and got to see him play for a little bit. Looked like he's still trying to find his way and get his legs up under him.
yeah,
But even when guys
he
were
been
hurt, Jaquez was still he wasn't really playing a whole lot. He still kind of played the same amount of minutes he did last night as he did when guys were out. But with Tyler Hero being out now, that obviously opens up Duncan Robinson to be the starting lineup. Jaquez is going to get some more minutes. Even when Caleb Martin coming back and then inserted back into the lineup, they're going to have some minutes, some very valuable minutes on the table with Tyler Hero being out, that they can come in and
is it
contribute.
is it time to say Tyler Hero? You can't stay healthy, brother. The
I
contract was
I
come on,
wouldn't
Trigger.
say
When you
that.
need you,
I
when I
mean,
need you, when I need you,
he
you ain't
got
healthy.
yeah he did get hurt in the playoffs, and again, I don't think, and I told you this already. Even if he is healthy in that series against the Nuggets, I still don't think Miami wins it. We might win another game. Maybe we lose that series in 6 instead of 5, but I don't think still. I think our whole issue with that series was size. Tyler Hero ain't bringing no size. He's another scorer. He's another option to, put the ball in the basket. That's it. But we needed size in that series. And in the NBA playoffs, if if sometimes it comes down to physicality and just being bigger than other teams and imposing your will. And that's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did to Miami. They were way bigger than we were. They had mismatches across the board. You had Bam on Jokic, which is a mismatch. We had Gabe Vincent on Aaron Gordon, which was a mismatch. So, they're going to take advantage of that. They'd be a fool not to. And that's exactly what won them the series. Miami got one game in there. But like I said, even with Tyler Hero, I still don't think we win that series because we're just too small. So, but yes, he did get hurt, with the wrist, broke his wrist. That was a freak accident. And then the ankle injury, that's just another one of those things that's part of the game, unfortunately. Jimmy Butler rolled his ankle in the playoffs in the Knicks series last year.
And
Um,
played.
yeah, he came back and played, but he wasn't the same player. He was a decoy. He had done, thankfully, enough damage for us to win that game. But you see, he did miss the next game. And because there was an extra day in between traveling from New York to Miami, it was just enough time to get him rested up enough to get him back to playing in game 3. Because he played, yeah, it was game 1 when he got hurt. And he missed game 2. And we almost won game 2 without him. Um, but he missed game 2. And we came back to Miami. And, like I said, I think they had like 3 days off or something in between instead of just 2, which was very beneficial. And we ended up, coming back fully healthy. It wasn't even a story anymore. Good to go. And I think with Tyler Hero, because it's not a playoff situation, because they don't need to get him up and ready to go because they need him. Like, all right, it's early in the season. Take these 2 weeks, get your ankle right, and then come back. Miami's winning games. They haven't lost a game since he's gone down. He went down in the Memphis game against the Grizzlies, and it was early in the game, and he was on his way to another spectacular scoring performance until he got hurt. Tyler Hero was averaging 25 points a game this year. Like, that is huge for us. That is huge. And I think a lot of it has to do with him having a chip on his shoulder for, all the stuff happening in the offseason with his name being thrown around in the trade rumors. This kid definitely came out with something to prove this year, and so far so good. And in all the games that he's played from start to finish, he's been lighting it up. He's been shooting the ball very well. He's been getting to his spots on the floor. He looks effortless as he's scoring the basketball. And we definitely need that third option outside of Jimmy and Bam, because sometimes when they go ice cold, there's nobody else, outside of
Nobody
those
in the
two
room.
who can step in and pick up the slack. Now we got lucky throughout the playoffs last year when it wasn't Jimmy, when it wasn't Bam. Later
Max
in the
Strauss,
playoffs, like
Duncan
that first series against Milwaukee was all Jimmy, right? He averaged like 35
Brown.
points a game in the 5 games in that series. The New York series, again, it was mostly Jimmy. But when it came to Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, and even there was a couple games in that Knicks series too, where we had, Gabe Vincent, lit it up. He was one of those guys that,
Got him
came
their
through. Then
contracts.
another game it was Max Strus. Another game it was Caleb Martin. Then it was,
Got him their
Duncan
contracts.
Robinson. Like it seemed like it was a different guy every time that was stepping up. And a lot of times that's not sustainable in playoff, in the playoffs. If you got guys who aren't normally putting up those numbers, they might do it for one game, but the chances they do it 2 games in a row are almost slim to none. So we had to get a different guy each time to come in and do it, and it worked until we got to the finals.
And
But
that's why everybody got their contracts.
yeah, Strus got his contract, got paid. Gabe Vincent got his contract, got paid, and both of those guys now with two teams that are under 500. Gabe Vincent didn't even play
Sometimes
the other
I'm
night.
out of
The
team.
Lakers played. Like Cleveland, I think is 5-6. Um, I don't know what the Lakers record is, but I don't think that they have a
What
winner.
you
I'm
think
pretty
about
sure they
the
don't
Lakers and
have.
AD? What you think need to happen with AD? And we're gonna talk about I think Chet got up there for rookie of the year because if he'd have had been rookie in his actual class, I think he wins it by a lot.
Yeah, I forgot. Check. Is still a rookie. Technically. So I had
Because
Scoot Henderson
him
winning
and
it, but
Victor
he's been
going at it.
injured. So it looks like Wimby. Looks like Wimby's gonna be the one to win that one. But
I think that year helped Chet. That year helped him get his body bigger and get him a little
yep,
bit better with it, and just watch the game too.
yep, yep. It could definitely be beneficial when you're not playing. On the outside looking in, you got time to go and do things individually to work on yourself. Okay, so the Lakers are 6-6. They're not under 500. Um, but yeah, didn't mean to get
And that
off track
sucks.
there. But yeah, I think it was beneficial for him to have that year off to kind of to build himself up, get a little stronger, get a little bigger, and he looks good this season. I watched him play last night against the Warriors, and I mean SGA, Chet, I mean they have a really young group of talent, and
Mhm.
those guys are really going to be tough. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be like
almost willing to
Russell.
go
It's gonna be
off.
like Russell and KD when they was young. I ain't gonna say
I'm
that
almost
high, but
Yeah, I wouldn't put it that high either. Um, but I'm almost willing to go off on a limb here and say, with as competitive as the West is going to be, with all these good teams, the potential playoff teams, I would put OKC in the playoffs.
hey,
I
Shaq can
would put this
score.
OKC team in the
Shaq and
playoffs.
Virginia Tech boy.
He
Virginia
is a
Tech
great
boy. He can score
scorer.
that rock.
He's a great scorer. He doesn't get the recognition I think that he deserves. And again, I was watching him play last night, man. He's another one of those guys. How I described Tyler Hero earlier when I said Tyler Hero, the way he's been scoring this season has looked effortless. SGA is another guy who makes the game look very easy. Like it's just effortless to him.
Yeah, they need a who's that? They got a vet They need a good vet, like a Pat Bev. If they had like a Pat Bev behind,
Yeah, I think it's just all young guys,
Fry,
man. I don't think they have anybody on the squad that I've seen that I noticed that was a veteran player. But I mean, if
that's
they
what
did have a
Human.
veteran leader, if they had a Chris Paul, like he was there a few years ago and led a young team to the playoffs. Um,
That's what
but they
Ime
had
Udoka is making in Houston. You think?
I mean, they're doing well in Houston so far. I expect them to. I don't expect them to hold up to where they're at right now. I think they'll eventually kind of filter out into the bottom portion of the Western Conference teams, or the teams that don't make the playoffs, end up being on the outside looking in. Because as many teams there are in the West that are stacked, somebody is going to not make the playoffs, and I think Houston will be one of those teams. Even though they're right now they have a winning record, um, I feel like
I think he
as
making.
the season goes on, they'll start to kind of come down a little bit.
I
Now,
think he making a little AAU team over there, bro. I think that's what the league going to, and I think that's why Brian gonna have 6 more years because it's going to more of like a
oh,
AAU style. Like you look at the end season tournament, like more scoring. Like, yo, let's just go out
mhm.
here and score. We ain't gotta play defense that tough. It's gonna be people who play deep, but if you can play defense, you will start Anthony Edwards. Like if you can lock down and do it all, you're gonna be a star. But if you can go out there and score, you may be able to beat a lot of teams. Indiana can go out there and score,
Yeah, they
and
lead
I
the
think
Eastern
that
Conference in points per games right now.
yeah, like they can just go out there and score, and I think that's what we turned into as track meets. It's the transition that NFL had to where it's just 41, 42 point games.
Yeah, yeah, Indiana. I'm glad you mentioned them. I mean, they've been a surprise team in the East, and they have been shooting lights out. They're averaging about 124 points a game right now, which leads the Eastern Conference. I haven't put it up against the teams in the West yet, but it's definitely leading the East. And those guys, they have a scary team. Like Tyrese Halliburton has been balling. Um, they have Buddy Hield, who's still there. There was contract talks where he was trying to get a contract extension with Indiana. They weren't trying to extend him. They were looking for trades, didn't find anything, so he's still with them, and he's been a good piece for them. But yeah, Indiana, man, they are one of those teams. Young, scrappy. Talk about OKC. Um, they're like the OKC of the Eastern Conference, and I would not put anything past them right now in the way that they're playing and how they're scoring the ball at a very, very high level.
I would, hey, I forgot, bro, what I was about to say, bro. You said OKC scoring a high level. What was I about to say? I don't know. What was we talking about before that?
Miami, the Hawkeyes,
No, you went way back.
the Lakers,
A little bit before.
it's about the Lakers, the Wemby Rookie of the Year,
Yeah,
Chet.
we said chat envy. I don't know. I ain't in it. If I forgot, it ain't nothing big. But yeah, yeah, man. Bro, it's gonna bug me. But I mean, I can't remember. It's gonna bug me. But
Let's talk about how Miami is the hottest team in the league right now. 7-game win streak
because I told you it was gonna
starting the
happen, but you don't
season
want to be
1-4.
listening, bro. Carolina up next.
There's something about the Miami Heat going 7 straight wins here. Hottest team,
Oh,
one of
that's
the
I
or the
remember. I
hottest
remember what I had
team.
to say. I remember what I had to say. You think you
Here we
reminded me?
go.
I'm sorry. When we gonna start doing the sports bets? Because you got the basketball stats and the over and unders. I need you to start collaborating because we got to start winning some of these parlays, especially with football going on and it's more predictable football now.
I tell you what, man, I would love to be able to say that. Hey, I can tell you that this player's gonna do this, and that, and should do this, that. Hey, take that bet. But I don't ever be winning nothing on that. I win more on baseball than I do basketball.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be a little test. We're gonna test them live, everybody. We're gonna test them live. We're gonna test you live. Um, if it make me update, I'm gonna be mad. So, what if it's like, let's say Tyrese Halliburton, more or less 34.2 points, rebounds, and assists. You going more, you going less.
See, rebounds and assists,
Points, rebounds, and assists. 34.2.
or points, rebounds, and assists. I'll say more.
There you go. You can make predictions, bro.
Oh my
And they
god.
got ESPN. We got ESPN Bet too. That could be a new sponsor. We got to
See,
start talking about it.
whatever I say happens, usually the opposite happens.
We're gonna research and see what ESPN Bet talking about. Start putting some. We would start doing some like over and unders and just some what we looking at for the weeks with some more content, some easy, quick content that we can film. Because your last one did big numbers. You did big numbers with your picks from the beach.
Mm.
I think it was like 800 views. I think
Oh wow.
so. Or maybe been 80 views. I don't know. I'm 100
It
times
probably
and
was
everything.
80.
I'm like 100 times and everything. My life. Abundance is our birthright. Um, but yeah, I'm looking at Villanova destroyed Maryland right now. We got the college. Everything's gonna be changing next year. It's almost
Yeah,
time for Coach Prime.
stuff changes every year. You hear the rumors I've been saying that Coach Prime should go to Texas A&M. So we got to see
Yeah,
Prime in the SEC. I would love to see him in the SEC. How he do up against them. He would definitely get top tier recruits then because a lot of them get top tier recruits. That's why they're so tough as a
the Florida
division
boys are
or
coming
as
to
a
Texas,
conference
so he'll get
already.
the Texas boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or the people going to Georgia will decommit and go to Texas A&M. Like he would definitely steal some
and
recruits
they got
away
the
from
money,
Alabama. He could steal some
and they got the
recruits
real
away.
money out there.
That's true. He would definitely steal some recruits away from Alabama, Georgia, Florida, all the top SEC programs. Everybody would want to go play for Texas A&M. He would really get contender. He probably get one
Coach Prime.
faster than he would. He'll probably get a faster contending team, a bowl or a playoff team out in Texas A&M than he would in Colorado.
Yeah, this job is probably a year or two too early. If Shador and Shiloh's leaving, yeah,
Yeah, I would love to see him in the SEC, man. Competing against Saban, especially after Saban had what he had to say about the portal and all that stuff, man. That would be awesome for football, awesome for college sports. Period.
and you imagine him then on Sundays he's at the Dallas game, him and his son.
Yeah, like they're right there. Yeah, yeah.
Shador's the backup for Dak. Dak start playing bad now. Shador's the starting quarterback for the Cowboys.
He was going too damn
Then you
far.
got Shiloh as a starting safety for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my gosh.
You know Jerry will do it.
One thing I do hope for is Dallas Cowboys get Brock Bowers in the draft. I would love to see him play
Nah,
in
he
the
going
Dallas
too high for
Cowboys
you.
uniform.
He going too high for y'all.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, he's a tight end though, so I don't know how high he would draft a tight end.
Arizona.
Um,
If I'm Arizona, I'm taking Brock Bowers, number 3.
but
Or
yeah,
from
I
Chicago.
I love Brock Bowers. Love Brock Bowers, man. I love to see him play for the Cowboys.
Y'all not gonna get him in the first round. Y'all gonna let him get us in the first pick of the second round. And you gonna
And
be mad.
Dallas will never take the obvious pick. They always got to take players that ain't even on the draft board. They took a player in the first round last year that ESPN wasn't
Ozzie
even
Sweat.
prepared for. They ain't had no video package or nothing put together for this man because they were so thrown off by the draft pick. Man, who this guy come from? The same thing we drafted Leighton Vander Esch the year he got drafted. He came out of nowhere. No one knew who he was. Cowboys fan booed them for the pick, and now it looks like he's gonna be done. He's done for the year, and now I'm talking about potential career threatening injury. This man's neck has been the issue
Oh, like,
since he's come in the league. He
yeah,
had
his neck
injuries
has
with
been
his neck.
exposed.
He had neck injuries back when he was in college. That's why he wears that big ass neck brace thing when he has
But
the.
unfortunately, it happens to like the linebackers like that. The Patrick Willis's, the Ryan Shazier unfortunate accident, the Luke Kuechly's, the Bobby Wagner's really the only one I'm playing. The really linebackers like who play like that. Look at Sean Lee. Like all them boys got put out the game because they hidden. They hidden like they
Yeah,
sideline to sideline middle linebackers.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it
But
sucks. It's going more to the hybrid. We're going like just like in NBA. It's going more to the hybrid young kids, like growing up in the. I don't want to. It's not bad, but there's more flag football before they got to other football, so it's a little bit more developmental. Like it's. But then I was reading something about like, with the AAU kids. They playing. Do you think they playing like even when you were coming up? You think they playing too many games before they get to the league? Like they playing year round ball, or you think that's better?
I really can't call it with football because I've never been in that position. I know with basketball, it always helped me to keep playing year round so that you stayed fresh and your body was used to making those motions.
Movements all the
It
time.
was
Yeah.
creating that muscle memory. Um, that's why I like doing basketball year round. I figure with football, with people doing
The
like
seven on
summer
sevens,
league
I
or
think.
traveling, like
Yeah.
you're doing it just to kind of stay in that game shape. Keep your body in shape, keep your body used to taking the punishment, taking those hits, so that it's not such a shock when you take all that time off and you come back. Excuse me. And it's you open yourself up to potential injury when you do that. So yeah, I think in theory that it's helpful if you're a football player and you're trying to do something year round or you're putting a lot of stress on your body. You know, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's what I
putting a
said.
lot of
Seven on
stress.
seven. I think that's better for the football. The 7-on-7 like flag in the
Yeah,
springtime is better for them. But as
yeah,
basketball, like
yeah,
you say,
like
y'all just hooping. Y'all can
yeah,
hoop year
yeah,
round because y'all ain't really battering
yeah.
and hitting and running into each other.
Right, right, exactly. So, it's easy to kind of stay in some kind of shape or stay in form
Yep.
when you do that. So it's a little difficult with football because of the contact involved. But some people do a lot of it, beforehand, before they get to college, before they get, even after they get to college. They're doing something in the off season to stay in shape at least, like flag football league, stuff like that. Just kind of somewhat stay in shape. And it carries over into the regular season. And unfortunately, when things get real, when it's time to play and y'all really out there hitting, it's a different type of hitting versus what you're doing in the off season and all that, which is where football differs from basketball because basketball you pretty much like playing pickup or you playing in a real game. I mean the speeds are different, but everything is still the same. Whereas
Right.
football, you know, you're completely taking out the contact element, maybe, and then you're adding it back in when when things are when it's live, and that could be hard to adjust to and could open you up to, like I said, having injuries. And some guys, you come into the season banged up, from practice and OTAs and all that stuff because y'all are hitting and doing things in pads in practice. And then obviously as the season goes along, you don't get any healthier. You continue to get banged up, continue to get beat up, And for guys who come in like a Leighton Vander Esch who has that history with his neck and getting hurt, obviously that doesn't bode well for him. So I'm willing to bet that these guys probably knew with his injury history, especially where the injury's at, in the head and neck area, which is very sensitive in a sport like football. I'm willing to bet that when they drafted him, they knew that he was probably going to be one of those guys that he'll give you a little something for a few years, but he's probably going to be playing on borrowed time, and his career could potentially be shorter
Fact.
than a lot of
Fact.
other players. So they drafted him. I want to say with that in mind. I mean, you have to, given how violent this game is. Like that, those neck injuries ain't gonna go away once he becomes an NFL player. Like the game is at the highest level possible. Like these dudes hit different than college. College hits different from high school. High school is different from rec league or stuff. As the level goes up and increases, the physicality, everything, the hits are harder. Like it's just that's just how it is. And for certain guys who, like I say, who come in who have these long extended histories of injuries in certain spots that are very vulnerable to you living a normal life outside of football could very well end your career, you know, prematurely. And that's what we're
Yes, sir.
potentially about to see here with Leighton Vander Esch, unfortunately. I love the guy's motor. I love the way he plays. I like watching him play. He's a go-getter. He really he goes out and puts everything on the line. And you can tell in the way he plays, the way he runs. He runs with conviction. He tackles with conviction. He does everything the right way. And you don't hear about him getting into any excuse me. You don't hear anything about him getting into any trouble off the field. The man just shows up, puts his hard hat on, and goes to work. And you hate for a guy like that, that embodies all those good qualities as a football player to go down, to this injury again. And this time it actually may threaten his career. Um, and it's very sad because he's still a young dude. And he had a chance to potentially play for a championship this year. Um, on a very good defense, on a historically good defense over the last three seasons specifically, and in large part due to his contributions. And it is tough to have to give all that up, step away from that. You know, I just feel bad for him. Like Trayvon Diggs, I feel bad for him, but he'll be back. Leighton Vander Esch, we don't know. So it sounds like he's not going to be. Um, but yeah, I feel bad for Wolf Hunter.
Yeah. Damn, man. Hopefully he saved his money. Did well with
Hopefully.
that.
But the good thing about the Dallas defense, though, is that they didn't seem to really miss him a ton since he's been gone. I mean, we've still played fairly well. Um, I mean, I know we haven't played against great opponents, but the defense has been pretty good. At least in our wins, we've been holding other teams to less than 20 points a game in the games that we've won this season, which is awesome. So I think as long as we keep doing that, we keep playing well on offense, and, keep our defense off the field, keep them rested. They can come in, whoever's filling in for him at that linebacker position. They'll be just fine. Deron Bland came in for Trayvon Diggs, and it's like we never even missed Trayvon Diggs. I mean, the dude has been absolutely sensational. You know, he is not Trayvon Diggs, but he's doing what he needs to do to lock up that side of the field with
Hello?
Stephon Gilmore on the other side. So I think
Oi, oi.
we'll be
Can you hear me,
fine.
Mike? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
I can't bloody hear you though. Sorry, sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Hello, hello, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, come on. Hello,
Yes, sir.
yo,
You can hear me?
hello.
Yes, sir.
Yo, yeah, I just heard you click. I can hear you. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. All right.
You good?
Hello, hello. Yeah,
You
we good.
good?
All right, I'm back. All right. Yeah, you were
Okay.
saying Carolina was the best what?
No, I was saying Leighton Vander Esch is all right, we're gonna miss him, but I think we'll be fine without him. I'd rather just for Trayvon Diggs being out, Deron Bland has come in and filled in nicely. He's been playing that cornerback position like a pro, like a true Pro
Yeah.
Bowler. So I expect him to
Y'all
keep
need to
that
go and
level of
let us
play
get
up.
Stephon Gilmore, little brother, man. We need corners, man. Come on. Y'all stop holding on to that dime.
There's a reason
That
why
Jim.
he's still there.
Hey,
The
Washington
reason
State
why
is
he's
going
there.
down the field on Colorado after their defense stopped Colorado. But that isn't that like the second linebacker in that class y'all had, Jalen Smith and Leighton Van Der Esch, and they come in close together. And that was the worry
Mm,
for both of them was injuries.
yeah, I mean Jalen Smith is I think he's with the Saints now. He's bounced around a little bit since Dallas let him go. So I think we left Dallas and went to Green Bay, went
Oh, he got
to the
cut.
Giants. Yeah, he went to Green Bay, went to the Giants, and now he's with New Orleans. I'm pretty sure he's with New Orleans. Hmm.
Las Vegas Raiders. It's
The
Las
Raiders?
Vegas Raiders number 15. Oh no, but this says New Orleans. I don't know. This one says 5 days ago he was on first game with New Orleans. So I guess he got traded or he got cut and released. And now I guess he was with Las Vegas and now he's with New Orleans
Oh
because his
man, I
first
didn't even
game
know
was
he was with the Raiders.
yeah he
Must have
rejoined
really
them
been a really quick trip out there, I guess.
on November 7th. He said Raiders clear our view. So I don't know.
Hmm.
On his Instagram is all Raiders stuff. So I'm not sure because it said 5 days ago his first game with the
Yeah,
Saints.
I'm pretty sure he was with the Saints last time I heard.
November 5th he was posted a Raiders picture. He was number 15 for the Raiders on November 15th. Then yeah, on November 7th, he tackled. He played in the Giants game, Raiders Giants game,
Wow.
and then yeah, I don't know. Oh, the Raiders signed him November 2nd.
So he's with the Raiders now?
Active. The Las Vegas Raiders have signed Jalen Smith to the active roster from the New Orleans Saints practice squad. The club announced Thursday.
So I guess he's the
So,
Raiders now.
yep, he is with the Raiders. So that was correct. This was November
Wow.
2nd.
Wow, yeah, I think hard to imagine him being on two different teams in the same month. So I guess he's with the Raiders.
Yep.
Uh,
He was on the
hate to
practice
see him
squad
bounce. Yeah, I saw it. He played in one of the Saints games, wasn't on the practice squad, but no, I don't know. But yeah, I hate to see him, kind of bounce around the way he's doing because eventually he's gonna be out the league at this point. And guys start to move around like that, they tend to not stay around much longer.
He made a tackle.
Um,
He showed him negative tackle in the Giants game, which was what the week before last, week before y'all, right? Maybe.
yeah, it was before us, pretty sure. Yeah, but
I
I
don't know.
hate
I
to
don't
hate to see him go around the way he was, especially he had a lot of good moments in Dallas and let him go, and Like I said, he's pretty much bounced around since. So we'll see how that ends up.
Who you got your eyes on college basketball wise right now, other than JMU?
Well, I've been watching Duke play the other night, and they were playing against Michigan State, a 4-2 matchup, and both teams look decent to me. They're gonna be tough. Who else did I see? I watched this game on the other night, man. I forget who was playing, but it was two teams that were not as famous, not as big, but it's amazing. I watch college basketball and how some of these teams they play just as good as the Dukes and the Michigan States, Carolina, whoever else, Purdue, and they just don't get the same publicity for whatever reason. I don't understand why there's such a big lack of attention towards those guys versus the big schools. And I get the big schools, they win a couple championships and get put on the map. I got that. However, it's a lot of Division I schools for us to be focused on the same 10 every year, like the same
That's where we
schools
come in.
on TV time.
They
Like,
need us, bro. We got to start covering all these sports in the region, man. I was going to talk to you about that too, because I was looking at it. They got like sporadic ones and big news stations, but it ain't nobody really covering. I mean, it is. If you go look for it, podcasts, it
yeah,
is.
like
It
like
is.
like
But
JMU ain't getting no shine unless they have a game where they beat a top 25 team like they did against Michigan State, first week of the season.
they got a
But
podcast. Dude, podcaster was on Pat McAfee today, and then game day's there, so they got to be they in there popping somewhere. And there was a lot of people there, like JMU,
yeah,
and it's a beautiful campus.
yeah,
Like,
and that win against Michigan State definitely helped them. That publicity and all the stuff that was going into game day tomorrow. Them setting up like that obviously was a great win for them. Because now even more eyes are going to be on this show this Saturday and on the football game later in the day.
yep. But
See
yeah,
what a big win can do for a program like a JMU who's Division I, but they're not at the top. They're one of the mid-major. I guess you would say mid-major D1 school. I don't even know if you say that. I don't even consider them to be mid-major,
right.
honestly.
I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's we gotta. I want to talk to you about that too. We're gonna talk about that. I got an idea. It's gonna be a lot more work for us though, but my man called. But we get the it's another stepping stone on the plan. We going regional because you're right. It ain't. It's so many. There's so many colleges and sport. I didn't even know VSU was undefeated this year because it ain't nobody really talking about it or covering it. That's in my algorithm. Like
No,
we got so many classics. We got Hampton, Virginia Union, VSU, like VCU basketball, JMU, Virginia
Norfolk
Tech.
State.
Virginia Tech girls are good. UVA, Fork Union. We got all this Life Christian, John Marshall. We got all this good basketball, high school like we got all this good sports and stuff going on, and not to mention the stuff they do at the Rivers Sportsplex. Like we got all this good stuff going on that we don't even talk about. That I feel like it ain't covered in one spot. Like
Yeah.
where you get it all. Like you talk about it
And they,
all. I think
and they get a
it's
little 15-second clip on the local news. That's about it.
yep. Like, bruh, that's what we. And then think about how many people you get to contribute to that. You get somebody to contribute from every single one, and all work together to build a major thing, and you got a whole function.
Yep.
Like we can start like this weekend. We can write about when the Panthers beat the Cowboys. Like that's gonna be the
Okay.
first article. First article when the Panthers beat the Cowboys.
All right. I
It
mean,
was
that's
all
fine.
a dream. Used to be Word Up magazine. Trigger.
Yo,
What's your final soliloquy for the people?
final soliloquy. Well, um, it's been a pretty good week of sports for me. My Georgia Bulldogs and my Dallas Cowboys both dominated in their wins. I was very nervous going into
Strip
the
sack.
Georgia game.
Strip sack. Pick to the house. 14-0. About to be 14-0. Washington State. Shador got
Really?
strip sack. Yeah.
Uh, I was gonna tune
Five
into
minutes
that
into the
game.
fourth. Shador look hurt too.
I'm about to be down double digits already. I might not waste time.
Shador hurt. Yeah, he
There's,
got hit blind.
I tell you what, I don't like to say that I know something's about to happen, something's coming, but the way that man was getting sacked and beat up, like you just kind of knew at some point he'd get
He won't
hurt.
down. He popped back up, but he looked like he was holding his shoulder. But I don't got the volume up, so I can't hear
And
it.
he's not a big guy either, too. That's another thing.
215.
And
215, 6'2".
he's not huge.
That's
Um,
Bryce Young weight.
so all the sacks and he's been taking, and all the punishment he's been taking, to
Oh no, he
me,
looked good. He looked
for
good.
him to go
He in the
this
game
long
still.
without feeling something has been a miracle within itself.
This play, the way he got hit, they would have called roughing the passer in NFL
Well, I'm
because he
willing to
landed with
bet
all
that.
his weight.
Yeah, can't
That'd have
do
been a
that,
roughing the passer.
delete.
Like
But
he
yeah,
was
but like I
forcing the
was saying,
control.
man, really good week of sports. Miami's been on a 7-game winning streak, um, looking good. Um, I just need them to, keep winning these play-in games. You know, but Jimmy Butler's looked great. They've been able to be undefeated. They've been undefeated since Tyler Hero went down. Hawkins look good. Duncan Robinson has been on another level. He's got to be averaging like 20 something points a game since the Tyler Hero injury. Bam Adebayo, same thing. He's averaging a double double, 20 and like 11, something like that. But yeah, Bam, Jimmy, Duncan Robinson. I mean, they've really been scoring the ball really, really well. We've been getting timely buckets off the bench from Jaquez. And oh wow, and some of our other guys who I saw play in the preseason, Drew Smith. He's been okay in the backup role. Kyle Lowry has done decent. Um, Kevin Love has come in and given us a great spark off the bench. So everyone's been contributing and playing good team ball, man. They really move the ball well. They play off one another. I love what I've been able to see from them over these past 7 games. And I've tried to watch every game every time they play if I can help it. Um, they're playing against Chicago tomorrow night, and I think they play Chicago again a couple nights after that. We got Cleveland, and we got the Knicks, and the Knicks game will be part of the play-in, or not the play-in, but part of the in-season tournament. Um, looking to go on another road trip and hopefully go 4-0 again, like we did on the last road trip. I didn't like that, by the way. Like Miami went on a 4-game road trip, came home, played 1 game, now they got to go on another 4-game road trip. Like, it makes no sense to me, but doesn't matter. As long as we go out and we win some more games, continue to be one of those top teams in the East. They've been a lot better rebounding the ball. They haven't really been getting killed on the offensive glass during this winning streak, and you can see the results are correlating with that. Uh, but yeah, they look real good. They look real good. And I look forward to them to continue to play this brand of basketball that they've been playing. My Cowboys, they've looked good of the past several weeks, even though we lost to Philly. I think they'll be fine on Sunday against the Panthers. Uh, they'll have another
Live.
they have another decent showing on offense and defense this weekend. I don't need to say more about that. I think they're going to go in and make it do what it do and come out with a victory. The Georgia Bulldogs, survived 2 tough weeks. We got another tough opponent coming up in Tennessee tomorrow. I think Georgia will win that game as well, and then we'll go on and cruise to a victory against Georgia Tech in the season finale next week, and we'll get ready for our matchup against Alabama, the SEC championship. So we got to do one more game, and we should be good until we meet Bama. I think Georgia will get it done against Tennessee. I was very surprised by the win. Not that we won, but how they won. I knew we would beat Ole Miss, but I thought it'd be a little
Shador is
bit
out of the game.
closer.
Shador is out of the game. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I don't know
Oh
if he's
yeah.
out for a while, but he's not playing right now.
Like I was saying about Georgia, I wasn't surprised that we beat Ole Miss. I was surprised at how we won. I thought the game would be a little bit closer, especially after how we played or how Missouri played us tough the week before. I figured just, everybody would play us tough, but for them to win, 52-17, that was a statement. And obviously a big enough statement to get us back to number one in the nation over Ohio State. Um, and they got a chance to double down on that again and playing another good team, another ranked SEC team, third week in a row at Tennessee. And this game does scare me a little bit because we're on the road. Teams, underdogs, play better at home. I think if Missouri was at home and we played them, that game could have gone the other way. I think the same thing with Ole Miss. If they were at home, maybe that game's not a blowout. Um, and then with Tennessee now, they're at home. They got nothing to lose. All the everything will be on their side. Fans will make it a little bit harder for us, but I think Georgia will come out on top. It'll probably be a little bit closer than it was last week. More closer than I would like it to be, but I think Georgia comes out on top.
You talking about last
Georgia's
time
gotten
Carolina played Dallas?
no. Uh, Georgia's also gotten healthy, which led to that dominant win last week against Ole Miss. They've had key players come back. We lost Brock Bowers for the season, but he came back and contributed. So, Lad McClunky has looked good in the absence of Brock Bowers. And even with Brock Bowers back, we still go to him. So it's been a nice combination right there. Our running game has been phenomenal with Dejon Edwards and Milton. So, and Carson Beck obviously has looked great under center. Very poised, throws great balls, darts, lasers, strikes, whatever you want to call it, man. That man, he's hitting these guys down the field in stride, and he's doing a great job playing quarterback this year. After uh, we had questions about him early in the season, we got a little spoiled with Stetson Bennett and how good he looked for Georgia. They both kind of play a little different, but Carson Beck has been very, very good this year. And I hope he continues to do that. He's done that now against some top teams, some ranked teams. And, he's looked good against good and bad teams. So that's all that matters. So I got Georgia winning another game this week. It might be a little bit harder, but they get it done.
Excuse me.
They go on win the season finale. and then hopefully we go on and we can defeat Alabama, get them out of here. Um, yeah, so I got my Cowboys winning. I got Georgia winning. Um, hopefully Miami sweeps these two games in Chicago over the weekend as well. And we go into next week on another high. What you got, D Wise?
All roads lead to Carolina. Carolina
Mm,
is going. But yeah,
this
I'm not really not watching nothing but college. I'm watching Colorado. That's my team I was watching this weekend. We got some big games this weekend. I'm gonna watch the JMU game tomorrow. Definitely gonna watch that. And I'm watching the game Sunday. I'm watching the Carolina Dallas game Sunday. I will be watching it live. I don't know if I'm gonna be live, but I'm gonna be watching it live.
mm,
When we coming back, Trigger?
I think the next best day for me would be probably what's the day? Friday. Today's Friday, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Probably be Monday night.
Monday night we gonna be back. Monday night football. Who we got this week?
I think Philly and Kansas City.
I'm writing in Arabic.
Yeah, I think Philly and Kansas City play Monday Night Football this week.
It is Philly and Kansas City. Yes, you are correct, Trigger. And we got Minnesota and Denver on Sunday Night Football, and then Cowboys Panthers 1 o'clock, which I think probably it might be the local game here. You think?
What time
Because
does
Washington
Washington play?
4:55.
Oh, they both play on Fox at 1. So nope.
Oh, I thought Washington played at 4:25. I must be looking at something wrong.
Mm-mm, no, I'm looking at it now. They play at 1 o'clock
Yeah.
as well.
Oh no, it
Both
ain't
play
gonna
at
be.
1, so both on Fox. So yeah, they're gonna play the Washington game.
Which I think is even when Washington ain't playing, they never played a Carolina game, which I think is crazy. But I ain't gonna worry about it. But yeah, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock. But all right, check it.
You wanna make these picks real quick before we shut down?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask. You know, I got it up. Here we go. 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 Who you got? Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
Hold on, let me get it.
That one's gonna be a
The-
good game. But Deshaun Watson's out for the year. I think that'll hurt them. The backup quarterback. It's a Steelers team who keeps winning games somehow. I don't know how they do it, but they just keep winning.
Who did you say? You said
And
Pittsburgh.
yeah, I picked them to win. I honestly can't tell you why, but I mean I don't feel good about their team. They don't score a lot of points. I mean I guess their defense is I don't know, but I'm picking them to beat the Browns because Deshaun Watson's out.
Yeah, I'm DTR gonna have a game, and that defense, I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna go with Cleveland, and then I'm gonna go pick Detroit over Chicago.
Yeah, definitely Detroit over Chicago.
You can't pick them. We gotta pick the opposite.
Well, I
Uh,
don't.
L.A. Green Bay, Chargers, Chargers Packers. I'm going Chargers.
Mm. Yeah, I think the Chargers win that one too. They're desperate for one.
Um, Las Vegas, Miami. I'm going with Miami.
Yep, Miami.
Uh, Washington Giants. I'm gonna go with Washington. Oh shit.
Yep, they'll win that one. So they'll feel good about themselves, and then they'll get snatched back down to reality in 4 days. 4 days from that.
Uh, Dallas, Carolina.
They're for Dallas. Going for Carolina.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Dallas.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Put it on the
my
paper.
gosh.
Carolina. Carolina Panthers winning that game. Tennessee, Jacksonville. I'm gonna go with. I want to go with Jacksonville. Something in my heart saying Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Jacksonville got smacked by 49ers, but
And
they
Trevor's
get a
not good at home.
they'll have a rebound game against Tennessee. It's a division game. Uh, no, I think the Jags will win it. So give me Jacksonville in that one.
Uh, Arizona, Houston. Ooh, I think that's gonna be a good one. I'm going Arizona.
Houston, Houston, Alpha Stroud.
I think. I think. Cali got some of that dog. CJ got on him. I think it's gonna be a good one. But I think Arizona gonna come out because they playing expire, and then they got the defense. There's both. It's gonna be a defensive game, so I don't know. We'll see. Tampa Bay at San Fran. I'm going with San Fran.
Yeah, San Fran. Everyone's back. Everyone's healthy. Yeah, they should. They should win that one.
Atlanta's on the bye week, bro. So if Tennessee, if Tampa lose, and New Orleans is on a bye week, if they and Tampa gonna lose, bro. If we win this game, bro, we back in it. Buffalo at
KD
Giant
about to
Jets.
drop.
I'm going with the Jets. You said what?
Let's say KD about
KD?
to drop 50 tonight.
He balling.
Yeah, it's a high
I'm going
scoring
with the
game
Jets over
though.
the Bills.
Just Bills. I'm gonna pick the Bills.
Um, Seattle at Los Angeles Rams.
KD going for 50 tonight, bro.
Um,
Seattle Rams. Seattle.
yeah, I'm gonna go Seattle, but I got a sneaky thing the Rams may win this one.
Well,
I
that's
would
another
probably take the
division game,
points.
so they
Uh,
could.
Minnesota at Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver.
Minnesota.
Ooh, he's going with Pastronaut and Trigger said Minnesota. Philly at Kansas City. Or you want to wait till Monday to talk about and call that one?
Well, I'll make my pick now. Kansas City.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with you. I'm not betting against
James.
Patrick Mahomes.
If Philly was at home, I'd choose Philly. But
Ain't enough
because
tough pushers in
Carolina's
the
at
world.
home, because
Yeah, yeah. Say it
Kansas
again.
City's at home.
Say it again. Oh, Colorado just scored and I missed it. Oh, Travis scored. It's 14-7 trigger. We might have a game. Did she do it?
Uh
Oh, she do
oh.
it back in, throwing that rock.
Oh,
Oh
he
yeah,
came
Travis
back.
Hunter scored. Yeah, he scored. Oh yeah, Travis Hunter. He beat the dude. Ooh. Yeah. It was deep pass. Probably about 45. Oh, I thought he missed it. Sad. 17, 7-14. They back in it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trigger. What was you saying?
I don't know what I was saying. I don't think I said anything.
But yeah, we
I
be
was
back
just
Monday.
saying that since the Chiefs are at home, I picked them. Philly was at home now.
Oh
Picked
no,
them
you
at
said
Philly.
Carolina. You said Carolina was at home. That's what you first said.
No, Carolina's going home.
We know where your heart at. We know where your heart at. We know where your heart at now. So everybody, y'all
Dallas
heard
over
him say it.
Carolina by 50.
Y'all heard him say it. Carolina at
Dallas over
home.
Carolina by 50.
Uh, we gonna win this one. So we'll see y'all again on Monday. Monday. We're gonna be back. And
Monday.
Trigger. I got the fit on support local shop Mario. Strictly strictly clothing coming soon. So y'all be on the lookout for that strictly clothing. Uh,
Yes.
I gotta send you. We gonna have some conversations. But yeah, it's pretty much you can wear it to the office, you can wear it to the golf course, you can wear it to the out to eat, you can wear it in the boardroom. It's athleisure professional wear that's comfortable, affordable, and functional in all aspects of life.
There we go. I like
Made
that.
for dads, made for Hall of Famers, made for veterans,
Mm.
made in America. So yeah,
Wow.
me and my man, you gonna get me
Marketing.
copyrighted over here.
Marketing.
Oh yeah, because you know we nestle right next to the third largest army base and army training base in America, seeing over 70,000 soldiers come through a year, 69,000
Mm.
off personnel to help with them on top of the 30,000 Marine detachment that comes for the Marines. Different, yeah, yeah, and then all the Hall of Fames that we got. VCU in basketball. This is a basketball town. If you don't know, sports town. So I think it's time to drop a. We're gonna talk because you got a story behind it too. I'm gonna interview you for one of the first episodes. I'm gonna play your speech that's on YouTube. Everybody check out Trigger's speech. I'm gonna type it in the description if I remember his speech on YouTube. So everybody go tune into that.
Speech. Oh my
Yeah, you got
goodness.
a speech on YouTube. You got a speech on YouTube. So yeah, we'll be back Monday. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all for locking with us, and thank y'all for popping with us. I'm Be Wise.
I'm Trigger.
This has been Strictly Sports. Carolina on top. We out. Ski.
Dallas.
All right.